Testing 1 2 3. Testing.
Bumblebee tuna.
It's a cold, windy night here in Alma. The wind is blowing from the north end zone to the south end zone. I'm JB Brazil. Alongside me, Matt McJunkins. Matt, how we doing tonight?
It's coldy night. It is.
Cold.
Couldn't let you slide on it. Sorry.
Goodness.
Hey, man, I'm excited. We are at the top of the tallest peak in Arkansas right now. I feel like, don't you?
Boy, got a good view.
We sure do. Ready for some Greenbrier Panther football, taking on Alma tonight, the Airedales here in Alma, Arkansas.
Been a fun trip, traveling up here. Coming into tonight, Greenbrier trying to stay unbeaten. They're 8-0 on the year, 5-0 in conference play. Alma sitting in 6th place in the conference. They're 2-3 in conference play, and they're 3-5 overall. Coming into this one, Alma, played on the road at Valonia last week. Struggled a little bit. 56-20 was the final score there against Valonia. It was not a bad team by any means.
No.
They've had
scored early.
Sure they did. They've had some tough games here early in the season. Obviously getting late now, but it's getting in that football weather a little bit. A little bit chilly. It's a windy night. You got to think that's going to play play a little bit into the game tonight.
Sure.
Especially in the passing game. Greenbrier hoping to be ready. This is the last road game of the year. Hopefully, talked about this.
The year, yeah, that's right.
If Greenbrier takes care of business the rest of the way, they'll be at home all the
Till
way
the
to War
finals.
Memorial.
That's right.
Yeah. So here we go. Greenbrier here with just about 8 minutes to go until kickoff. It's senior night for Alma.
Yeah.
That's going to play a part as well. For these Alma Airedales, there's going to be some emotion for some of these guys. For Alma, there's the seniors on their team. This would be potentially the last time that they play here at Citizen Bank Field. So
well, and anytime you're an undefeated team coming into somebody's stadium, they definitely are gunning for you. You know,
Sure.
there's nothing that would make this Alma Airedale team happier than to pick off an undefeated Greenbrier team tonight.
Play
You know,
spoiler.
these two teams have been in conference together in the 5A West since all the way back to 1997.
Goodness gracious.
With the exception of 14 and 15 when Alma spent their little short spell in 6A. You know, under Coach Tribble, they've played 11 times in the Tribble era, and we've won 6, they've won 5. So it's been a close matchup.
Historically,
yeah, it has. So, you know, like you mentioned, this Alma team scored 20 or 21 on Valonia last week. And, you know, you look at Greenbrier scores throughout especially through conference, and a lot of the scores you see for their opponents came in the second half when the clock was on continuous run, you know, not starters out there. Well, that wasn't the case with this Alma team last week. They scored a couple times early on Valonia, so they're not a team that you're just going to expect to shut out completely and then until maybe the second half when the clock's running. So you're going to have to come here to play ball and play 4 quarters of it.
Certainly. Alma's 3 wins came against Rogers Heritage in a 28-27 affair. They beat Pea Ridge on the road 55-38, and then they blanked Clarksville 14-0.
That one kind of surprised me.
It sure did. You know, we played on the road at Clarksville, rainy day.
Yeah.
That seemed to play, you know, it affected the game a little bit. Greenbrier just kind of, you know,
gave up more
sputtered
points.
a little bit.
Gave up more points in that game than we have in any other conference game. But then that team has also been shut out by Farmington and Alma. So you know it was clear that the weather played a big part in that game for us at Clarksville.
No doubt about it. You know, you look here at Alma, they've lost to Harrison by 21, 42-21. They lost to Morrilton on the road by 1. They played Valonia, lost by 36, obviously. They lost by 11 on the road at Van Buren, and they lost to Poto, Oklahoma as well. You know, you look at these scores, it's not that they really have a bad team. They've played some of these teams pretty close. You can't come in here if you're Greenbrier thinking you're going to run away here with an easy win by any means.
Sure.
You know, and obviously you don't have that mindset coming in any game. But it's senior night here in Alma. They've shown they can hang around with some teams. You got to come to play football or you could get beat.
Right, and this offense with Alma is averaging 25.5 points a game. So clearly they're able to score. They do have the largest offensive line we have seen this year. It's 270 pounds across the board there.
Goodness.
So they're big boys up front. They've got a quarterback that can throw it a little bit and they can score. So, you know, we're going to have to come out with the same intensity we've played on defense the last several weeks, which has been quite impressive. You know, ever since, you know, we came out and just kind of punched Harrison in the mouth defensively, we haven't really let up since. These guys have come out and played hard on defense, and then, of course, the offense has just been dynamic all year.
Alma returns 8 starters from a year ago, 5 on the offensive side of the football, 3 on the defensive side. That'll play a factor tonight. You know, Greenbrier, we've mentioned that with our Panthers. They've returned 13 starters, 7 on the offensive side, 6 on the defensive side. But we got a lot of depth. It really doesn't matter the classification. We got guys that can play just about any position and play it well.
Right, and you know this Panther team, we're 8-0 coming in here tonight, looking to hopefully leave Alma tonight, headed back home 9-0 with a huge conference championship next week at home against Valonia. We are going to be doing it tonight without senior receiver Thatcher Strack.
Yeah, that's going to be tough.
Thatcher took a bad blow last week on a kickoff, and looks like he's probably going to be out for the season.
Goodness.
Huge loss there. I'm going to see a lot of Miles Miller tonight replacing Thatcher. A young Miller who is very capable. Let me tell you, I coached Miles Pee Wee football, watched him play his entire career playing football, and he's a very impressive sophomore.
Well, you know, it's a good point. That's what's been, you know, Greenbrier's been able to utilize some of those games when you're up by, you know, 35 at half.
Right.
You bring in your second guys, third string guys, just some guys that play different positions that they don't normally play. They get a lot of experience. That plays dividends when someone goes down, gets injured, or you get in the postseason when you need to got to step up.
Right, and last week, you know, throughout the year we've seen Miles come in a lot on defense and make good plays. Last week we saw him make a great play on defense, making a big tackle in the flat off a pass, but also we saw him make a huge catch, I believe a third down catch across the middle. So, hey, he's ready to play tonight, as well as Cooper Wilcox and the rest of this Panther offense.
Preston Riddle and Connor Stacy at midfield for the coin toss. Greenbrier won the toss. They deferred and chose to kick it away to Alma. So Alma will get the football first to begin the football game. We're about 2 minutes and 48 seconds away from kickoff. It's 54 degrees here at game time. The wind's blowing from the north end zone to the south end zone. So from right to left, there on the screen. The band for Alma is still out on the field. They're getting ready to march onto the field. It looks like the A for the Razorbacks.
Right.
Out there. Pretty cool little deal as Alma, the Airedales, are getting set to come onto the field. I tell you, Matt, it's getting more exciting when it gets a little closer to game time. This is the deal. You know, Alma, they have every right. There's not a whole lot to lose. Greenbrier's 8-0. They could play spoiler here. It's a big night for them, and, you know, they'd like nothing else than to come in here and get a big W.
That's exactly right. You know, not much. I guess there's probably not any chance they'll make the playoffs. So they're, you know, like I said, senior night at home against the undefeated Greenbrier team. They're going to come out with nothing to lose and just playing for pride.
Well, you know, here's the deal. They're tied for fourth place right now.
Oh, they
with
are.
Harrison and Morrilton.
Right.
That it's not an easy road ahead.
No.
You know,
so technically they are in contention, but you just don't see Harrison giving up that fourth spot.
And the problem is they lost to both Harrison and Morrilton.
Right.
They would lose the tiebreaker there. They technically got to win today, and they got to win in the final game next week for them to really have a chance.
Well, and here's the deal: Morrilton's playing Valonia tonight, so that's probably going to be a loss for Morrilton. So, you know, if Alma picked up a win tonight and Harrison also lost in the next 2 weeks, Alma could get that fourth spot, but chances are not very strong of that happening.
What Alma's got to do in order to make the postseason, and it is a tough one, they got to win out. They got to win tonight. They got to win on the road next week at Farmington.
And have some things go their way.
And they got to have Harrison and Morrilton lose along the way. That's
Right.
exactly right. So Alma's got their work cut out for them. Greenbrier has it as well. Obviously, Greenbrier wants to win it. They're trying to improve to 9-0, and we're just about set for the kickoff for the Alma Airedales. Kevin Mills and Briley White will be